proceeded to hammer me with punches to the chest and head until my hands went up, and then absolutely nailed me in the rib cage. Down I went, lungs, breathing out of order. Anyway, fast forward another 10 minutes as I got my shit together and started sparring again. Me against this very, very small, fast 18-year-old girl who was granted a second Dan black belt, so she was no slouch. But so fast, so quick. And, yeah, she hit me in the same spot. I think every man should have to be kicked in the ribs hard enough to set their lungs out of order so they're on the ground gasping for breath by an 18-year-old girl. It is a very humbling experience. It is an experience that will make you a better person. Look, I think there's always someone. We had this drilled into us throughout our martial arts, and there's always someone bigger than you. There's always someone tougher than you. There's always someone who's tougher than you and appears like they're not. And I just think there's a tough guy mentality that creeps around into the more masculine sides of both our cultures. That it's not particularly healthy, and it's fun to see. Above all else, in those sorts of situations, it's fun to see in a dojo, in any dojo worth its salt. And I imagine this happens in the military as well. Yeah. You've got your people in charge who want to create a culture and create lessons. And when really big guys step out of line, to watch them brought back into line is actually a really gratifying experience.
Oh, it really is. And, and you see an older guy like myself and a younger guy that said, I'm going to knock his lights out or, whatever, cartoon style Popeye stuff. And then now here comes me, the old guy, wraps this guy up in a lobster, and now it looks like, whoopsie daisy.
Are we back on Liberty Street, Liberty Avenue?
No.
What the fuck's a lobster?
Or the Boston crab,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the Boston crab. I lock him up in a Boston crab. Now, young Johnny is now he's schooled, right? So, I mean, that's the way it goes, They don't know.
But to bring it all back around, I'm not a tough guy at all. But doing that kind of stuff was good for my I just think just good for my character. It just put me out of my comfort zone and showed me that it's not as bad as what you think. You get your bell rung a couple of times by a big guy and you're still standing and you're still looking at him and you realize, hey, you know what? Like I can deal with this more than I thought. And then the third blow comes while you're thinking all this, and you realize you probably should never have had that thought.
See, I think that's important, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of people have never been kicked in the ribs. A lot of people have never been punched in the face. And a lot of people have opinions on social media that have never had that happen to them. I think that's important.
Look, these things, there's no doubt these things are all very uncomfortable. Let's make that clear. But turns out they don't kill you either.
True.
And, you can kind of keep on soldiering on. So Tom Wolfe, it's rib kicking time. Sunshine.
I was just going to say that. You were thinking my thoughts, Brad.
It's just I think we can all smell the desperation to wrap
can you just imagine
that conversation back somehow into what we're talking about?
Yeah, just imagine Tom Wolfe if he had to be in either of our dojos with his hands behind his head and with his grandmaster kicking them right in the ribs so they can feel it and get the wind knocked out of you a zillion times so you know what it felt like. Maybe he needs to feel that. Maybe he does. Maybe he just needs a little bit of that. I mean, who knows?
Tough love.
I don't know if, it could be tough love. I don't know if that's the answer. We'll find out.
So the question is always this, and in the sense of Tom Wolfe, in the sense of Donald Trump, in the sense of whoever, who's next in line? So if Tom Wolf, loads up on psychotropics, gets kicked hard by his grandmaster and doesn't recover, who steps into the fold?
Lieutenant Governor Fetterman, and he's also on drugs.
He's on steroids, I believe.
Allegedly. But is
allegedly. He's allegedly.
Is he? Are you guys missing something? Is there something in your constitution?
You just have
you
to
guys
look
breaking
at
the
him.
law by not loading up, or?
Well, he's. I mean, I'm not Dr. Phil, but he's fucking juiced on drugs. You know.
He looks like he allegedly takes steroids. To the
excuse me, 1 second. Lieutenant Governor Fetterman, pulled a shotgun on a bystander that was running down his road in Braddock, Pennsylvania, because he thought he was a black man. He pulled out a shotgun sent it to his head until the police arrived because he thought he was a black man. A guy that was jogging down the road. That's Lieutenant Fetterman. So that's who's next in line.
Let's not kick Tom Wolf in the chest right now.
Just yet.
See, and this is where my point starts to come in. The whole reason for asking this is I think when you've got a situation in your states and in your federal government where one person has considerable individual power, you really need to ask yourself that fucking question before you get rid of them. And I just want to say, if we could play some rousing music behind me and I'll stare into the sunset. Mike Pence, we salute you. I think we need to be careful, or you guys need to be careful about who's next to step into that breach. Over here, we don't really have that. It doesn't matter who's stepping into that breach because, they're a manager essentially. They don't have those crazy individual powers in an executive sense, and certainly not the veto or sway in the legislative sense. So it's more of a team game over here, which is interesting, I think.
Well, must be nice. It would be
nice if we had more of a team game here.
Must be nice.
Well, for us, maybe what it really needs, instead of just one grandmaster to kick one motherfucker in the chest, we need about 53 grandmasters to kick all the fuckers in the chest.
All of them.
And,
go down the line. Just line them up.
Certainly hard enough to make them think.
Shit.
There you go. We've just done politics. It's done. It's finished. We just need grandmasters to kick chests, and the world will be a better place.
This episode was called Politics, and thanks for listening.
AKA Lazy Neighbors.
And Lazy Neighbors.
This episode was called Politics and Lazy Neighbors. Thanks for listening and tuning into the Steel Plaza Podcast. Thanks for joining in and getting an oar in that water of the rowboat that is this insanity. We'll see you next time right back here on the Steel Plaza Podcast.